Hi guys.
Hello. How are you?
We're
Facebook world and every other world. It's been a while.
We're going to give a few minutes for some people to hop on.
Okay.
But that's the weird waiting.
We're those people now.
I know we are those people.
Okay.
We are those people.
Yeah. So
I just said that I feel so weird waiting for people to hop on. It's so weird. Like, look, there's people. Hi guys. We have a little bit to talk about.
a lot of it.
A lot of bit.
Yeah. What she said.
All of that and above. Like, some but good stuff. Like, it's not bad stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's exciting stuff. And I guess as you guys can kind of see in the title, it's like, okay, what are you guys about to talk about? So I think some of you kind of already know.
Yeah, I think we gave them enough information to clue them in. But I think there's some that don't know the details of what we're talking about and what we have going on. So it'll definitely be good to
lot.
Talk about. If you can hear us good, do me a favor and just wave at us.
Like, get up there.
From there, yeah. Okay. So we want to make sure that we're loud enough so that we don't have to hop back on and redo this for the people that want to hear but can't hear.
Or even get on there and comment and say, we hear you. Like, that helps a lot. Like, I think y'all hear me, but I don't know. Do you hear me? Yes. Hey, Ty. We're doing good. Hey, Amanda. So good. Everybody can hear us. That's a good thing. So hey, Elder. So if we end up like, getting like volumes too low, just let us know. We're good.
Right. And during the process of us talking, we can kind of see you all your responses and your comments. If you have any questions, feel free to leave the questions. Even if we don't address them immediately, we'll try to address some of those, toward the end. Or, if the question fits as we're rolling along, then we'll answer those as we go as well.
He's so professional. You are. You're so professional. Okay, so let's jump into it. All right, so wanted to get on here and kind of let you guys know kind of what's going on and what's happening with us. So as you've seen, I posted a picture a couple of days back, and in the background there was a fertility, West Virginia Fertility Center was back there, and it was like some people kind of caught it. A lot of people caught it and some didn't. It was actually funny because a couple of people was like, oh, what was so special about this picture? And they went back and Linda was like, oh my God. But we have decided to start a journey into Babyland. We are going the route of IVF. Hey, Jessica. So there's a lot that kind of entails with that. It's not like a short journey. It's not super long either, but it's long enough to make me impatient. So
and the length of the journey also depends on your experience and what you have going on as well.
Yeah. So some of you may be wondering a little bit of what our story is. So
and why IVF?
And why IVF? So when me and Jonathan got married, my tubes were tied.
9 years ago.
9 years ago.
Half-ish.
Yeah. 9 years ago, 9.5-ish. So, yay, Babyland. So my tubes were tied, still are tied, and we did a reversal probably about 3 years ago. About 3 or 4 years ago, we tried getting my tubes reversed, and when we went to go do that, found out like, oh, my tubes aren't reversible because, well, the doctor that did it, he tried to reverse what he could, but could only reverse like one tube, and got in there and was like a bunch of endometriosis, and it was just like, hey, I did what I could. Long story short with that, basically within the first couple of weeks, I ended up getting like a infection, and I ended up having to go back and get the other tube removed. So that left me with no tubes. So still have ovaries, still have all the other functions, just don't have tubes. So
right, and even leading up to that, the tubal reversal and things like that. When Gheilescia and I got married, it wasn't one of those secretive things, where she had her tubes tied and didn't tell me until later. She disclosed that information as soon as we got serious. So she did let me know that, and just to be honest with you, it's something that I struggled with at the very beginning, prior to us getting married. But after a little while of spending time with her and all, and realizing that, hey, she is my rib, and I didn't share that with her, at the time.
I didn't know this.
But recognizing that she is my rib, it was a no-brainer. Like, the fact that she had her tubes tied, and the understanding that there is a possibility that the reversal, there wouldn't be able to be a reversal, or that if there was a reversal, then there's still a chance that there aren't any, that there's a possibility that we won't be able to conceive. Understanding that, I still, desired to move forward in that. And for those that don't know, Gheilescia and we do have two other children. Now they're her children biologically, but they're not my children biologically. So and I love them to pieces. They are my son and daughter. So this isn't one of those, hey, let's move forward in an attempt to make me feel satisfied or to make her feel satisfied. This we went into this with prayer and thought, which is why it took 9 years. We took some steps moving toward this, but even in that, we wanted to make sure that we were following the will of the Lord.
Yeah. So this is where we are now. He was cool. I wasn't. I didn't realize that he went through all that, actually, like the whole little processing thing. It was like, oh yeah, okay. I wasn't really cool with it though. I was like, oh my God, he has no biological children. This is gonna be awful. How do I fix this? And I had like this big total meltdown because I went to I'm like, we're going into a marriage and he has no biological children. This is awful. Because as a woman, like you always have this perception. I don't know about y'all, but I had this perception, like thinking like, oh my God, I'm supposed to make sure that I have a baby. And then it doesn't help when people are like, when y'all gonna have a baby? When y'all gonna have kids? When there's gonna be a little Jonathan? I'm like, I don't know, because, so there's always, these questions, and, you go through this roller coaster of things, and it's like, what in the world is happening in life, And so, it was weird, crazy for a minute, at least when it came to that area of life, but we've made it past that, and so here we are now, after a failed reversal attempt, and after a span of endometriosis acting up a little bit, here we are. So to update you guys on where we are in the process. What does that mean? Like, there's a lot going on there. And he's laughing at me. What I can tell you involves is a whole bunch of pills and shots. And it's like, God, it was funny. Because we just started this, like, we decided this and went, like, really jumped into it, like, what, about
a month ago.
Was it even a month?
Yeah, because we've been doing doctor's appointments for about three
weeks?
or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
so maybe a little over a month ago.
Yeah, so it's like fresh, like fresh, like super fresh.
Right. So for those that don't understand what IVF is and why IVF is necessary, in some situations. IVF it's artificial insemination. It's I don't know the technical term for it. It's
in vitro fertilization.
Yeah. So what
something like that. We close.
Yeah,
y'all know what we talking about.
Look it up. It's on Google everywhere. But what the process is of course, with all the vitamins and the medication that Gheilescia mentioned, all of that kind of precedes what the actual procedure is. But what the procedure does is they go in and surgically remove the woman's eggs. And once they remove her eggs, then they inseminate them with my deposits, and then they.
He said they go in and remove the woman's eggs, but then deposit his stuff. Like
they know how babies made. So yeah, they take my seed and implant them into the egg. And they actually monitor them. They monitor them as everything progresses and as it goes, and then they go back in and do the implant, and they monitor the woman and see if everything took. But in saying that, there's some instances where the woman or the man might be infertile, or they don't have the capacity to conceive naturally. So this is the route that's taken. The reason why we ended up having to go this route is because of the fact that Gheilescia doesn't have tubes or what have you. So that my seed doesn't have any route to implant.
So they swim and then they come to a wall.
Right, and then it's like where we go.
They're like bloop, 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 bloop.
They're like a man with directions. Like, oh, I don't know where I'm at, but not me. Not me. I know where I'm going a lot of the time. Sometimes, maybe. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this conversation.
Oh, okay. Rerouting. Siri is rerouting. Listen. So, listen. So basically, I take 8 pills.
Yeah.
It's 8 pills. They're some of them are horse pills, like big old horse pills, and I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. And then I take little smaller pills. So since I'm 37, I'm in that age range. So for those of you that got questions and your wife, your wife is late 30s and stuff, if you hit 38, it's for some reason it affects your ability to have kids, and it drastically drops. So I'm 37. So they're oh, you're middle ground-ish. So you choose what you want to do. So that meant we can choose to see, we can do chromosome testing on the eggs and stuff to make sure they're good eggs, to see if they're boys and girls. It's so freaky. It's some bizarre stuff. It's I can do what? And then it's I have to take an extra pill, cause I'm 37, I gotta take an extra pill to make sure everything's functioning or at a cellular level. It's a lot of stuff. So I end up taking about 8 or 9 pills now. 4 of them, 5 of them maybe are different types of vitamins and stuff like that. And then the other ones is a baby aspirin, doxycycline, which I'm so pumped for that, cause that means clear skin, baby smooth skin. I will say this, you do not take that mess on no empty stomach. I took that stuff on an empty stomach and I was messed up.
Yeah.
I woke up that morning was oh my God, help me. So that totally didn't work out. And metformin, because I have PCOS, but polycystic ovarian syndrome. So, and there's a lot of people that has that. Apparently metformin is the solution to that. Lady Ross and I were in our 30s with our last child. Go you guys. And so I'm just metformin, great. Took that didn't, I was supposed to, okay, so you're supposed to stair step with metformin, and apparently I didn't do that right. I just was that weekend, I was psh, give it all to me. And I just took all 2,000 milligrams and didn't work out too well. That wasn't the plan. So we had to kind of back off of that and start back off at baby steps. So in a nutshell now, I take about 8 pills. Start my shot today. The shot is to stimulate, the follicles and all that stuff. Listen, let me tell y'all what I did. So I got up this morning, got the shot, and I'm like already like dragging my feet. It was funny, guys. I'm dragging my feet, okay? And it's like a little baby needle. It's like a little baby needle. You like pop it in your belly and you're good. No. So I got up this morning. I've never given myself a shot. I'm in nursing school. I've given other people shots, hey. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, I gotta give myself a shot. I don't know how I feel about this. I lied to you. I stood there. I jumped. I bounced. I danced. Tried to hype myself up for a good 7-8 minutes maybe. I ran around the room. I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. And I couldn't do it. So I gave him, I was like, you gotta do it. And then I laid down in the bed like, I don't know, like a big kid, and was just like, okay, you do it. And he did it. And he was like, and I was like, oh my God, that was it. That was it. I didn't even feel it. I did all that for nothing. Like, I was sweating and everything. I was like, oh my God, I did that for nothing. He thought it was funny.
So I did. Because I kind of knew that, that the anticipation of the pain was a lot worse than what the pain would actually be, which, exactly. I almost said I didn't get on here to preach, but here you are, since I got you.
Oh my God.
But that's how a lot of situations are in life. The anticipation of the pain and hurt and things like that are a lot worse than the actual situation. Really with going through all of this, some of that could be the case with many individuals. It's like, hey, I don't want to go through this process because of the pain, or I'm afraid to even look into this because I'm afraid. And part of we have 2 reasons really why we're sharing this information. Number one is because of the fact that we have a lot of people that are invested in us and whose lives we're invested in. So we wanted to make sure that we keep you all updated and share along the process. We know
I feel like I'm distracting him.
No, you're not distracting me until you talk. Then I look at you. Anyway, so we have a lot of people that pray for us and that we're in relationship with. But also we want to encourage anyone that could possibly be going through any type of a situation where you might not be able to conceive, or where you're questioning and things like that. And we're just here to let you know a little bit about the process that we're going through, so that you can be encouraged and knowledgeable about that, but also so that you can be encouraged to just move forward if that's what God is leading you to do. I will say, just fair warning, that there's a lot that goes on with it, and it's expensive, like, without question. But with our situation personally, the Lord has made a way with many different avenues and things like that. So we are appreciative of that. So just going into it, just understand that there are some finances that's associated with it.
Which leads me back to IUI. So someone reached out to me today and was like that they were doing IUI, and I was like, that's totally awesome. That was actually a route that we considered doing at first. Mm-hmm. And IUI is basically you have to have tubes for IUI. I always think of it like this. This is me explaining it. IUI, a lot of people is very familiar with IVF. IUI is, how you watch the movies sometimes.
Okay.
We are. That's the best way I know how to explain this. So how you go with the movies. IUI is a great way to go. This is like more the medical, but this is me also explaining it on another level. So you watch a movie, you got the chick there on the movie, and she's a little crazy, and she wants the dude, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna have this baby, and they do whatever they do, and she, steals the sperm, and then she like sucks it up in a turkey baster, and then she's like, she sticks it up in there and she's like, I'm gonna have his baby. And she lays her on the back for like an hour, Okay, so that is basically what it is they take the male's semen and they wash it or whatever have you, and then they actually inject it into the woman's uterus and it goes up through the tubes and does stuff naturally. It kind of helps, like, especially for the guys who may not be able, to swim very well. It kind of gives them a little bit of a boost, kind of like, go on, get up there, go ahead, you can do it, and they reach the ovaries and, they do their thing, have a little party, and they get down, and then boom. So that was the route we were hoping to go, and then it was like, hey, you gotta have tubes for that. And I was like, oh, I don't have tubes for that, so that's not gonna work. But if you can do IUI, it's actually a cheaper route, especially if you still have your tubes and you don't have very many issues going on there. But IVF, I will say this, when you go in there for your initial consult, you hit the ground running. It's like, okay, so what we doing? Because what they do is they base everything off of your first period. Like, are you wanting to go now after your first period, or are you wanting to wait until your next period? Because everything, like, nothing can really get started until a certain time frame within your periods and all of that. So, and
they have a series of tests that they run in the process, once you get started.
Yeah. So we went through all of that stuff, and then it was like, okay, so why not, like, this happened on this day, why not just go ahead and get to running, let's do it. And then it was like within like 3 weeks we went from taking nothing but pills to now we're doing the shots. I had to get a uterus
so where we've gone from the beginning to where we are now. We've done our initial consultation. That's us going in, just getting some basic information and things like that about the program and things like that. Get a walkthrough and things like that. Fill out some information and all that. The second trip that we went in, there was she had to have a uterus washing.
Yeah, and he called it a power wash.
It was pressure washing.
Pressure washing.
The washer, pressure wash.
Let me tell you, if you go get this uterus washing, pressure washing stuff going on, let me tell you something. That mess really feel like everything's getting pressure washed. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. It was like, mentally I want to do this, but it was like, oh my God, I don't want the power washing portion. Like, it was a little, and it was so funny because, you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God. And while you're like going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But you got to look composed. So it's like, I have to look composed. Okay. I have to look composed. So I'm sitting here like, and, she's in here just like doing her thing. The doctor, she's just like, do, and she's having conversations. And I'm like, yeah, it's great. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. We got this, And so that's how this is going. And it's just like, oh my Jesus. And it was so funny because Jonathan got through doing what he had to do.
They had to do semen analysis. So that was an event too. I don't think we discussed that.
No, we're not going to discuss that.
No, thank you.
So he gets done with his portion and comes in there, and I'm still getting pressure washed. And so needless to say, when I got out of there, I was just like, I've been washed. I've been cleansed. Thank you, Lord. It's just like, Jesus. So yeah, that was eventful. And then after that, it was just,
we had to have the same day we had to have labs run. We had to have blood drawn and things like that because they're checking for different things. They want to make sure that before any money is I'm about to say any money is invested. Once you get rolling, like once you start on anything like medication or anything like that, the money's invested. Like it's time to roll. So we had to pay for the uterine screening and the semen analysis. We had to pay for that separately. So we paid for that, and they ran labs and all those good things. And then we went back after that to do the medication training.
And while we're talking about medication, just real quick, the benefit of doing it here in West Virginia is that our medication is way lower. So like they said, like out of state, the medication is normally around like 4,000, I think. Mm-hmm. But here in state, it's closer to like 2,000. And it's just because of how West Virginia is really. So that's the benefit of it being done here. So that was really cool too, which, you know, even that, like it worked out really well.
Right. So with the medication, like there's not just one shot. Like she was mentioning one shot, but there's not just one shot. Like there's multiple shots and things like that. So the medication training, like after each appointment, with the exception of the uterus screening and the semen analysis,
the uterus power washing.
After each appointment is leaving, you're leaving, and it's just like, that was a lot of information. But the beautiful part about it is the clinic that we're going through, they're very, very available. They're very, very helpful along the process. And we actually have some friends that have gone through the process with them, and everybody's satisfied with it. So we had the initial consultation, we had the analysis, and then we had the medication training, which is quite a few of them. And then there's time frames, like within minutes you have to take it, take certain medications and things like that. So it's pretty intense. So right now where we are is we just began the shots. I don't have to take any shots, but I do have a pill to take.
Did you hear him? He said a pill.
Yeah, I have one pill.
I have 8 pills.
There was
and 3 different shots just to take for today.
There was a potential for me to have to take some other medication and things like that, but based on the semen analysis, it wasn't required.
Yeah. So, it would have been an extra vitamin.
Yeah. So you know, I'm here along for the support. I'm not running. If there's anything that I've had my share of shots.
You have,
like, literally
shots.
And,
yes, we know.
And you know, medically. So
yes.
I think I should be good.
Yeah. Look, I seen where Mariah said that I had a ordeal with that power washer. Listen, girl, listen. I have nightmares about that thing sometimes. Like, I'll wake up in like a sweat just with dreaming of power washing. Just
okay. You were saying something?
He won't let me be great. Y'all see this? He won't let me be great. I'm trying to be great.
So, anything else you want to tell him?
Oh, so that's it, really. I think that's it. Basically, I wanted to let you guys know kind of where we are. And that's really where we are. I wanted to update you guys on where we're at. And it's like, yeah, we're at Shop Face. Oh, so in case you're wondering where we're going, it's coming out a little bit. Taisha, it's coming out. So it's coming out.
For those of you that can't see the comments, Gheilescia used to be a mime. I say used to be because I think she's retired. She used to be a mime, and one of our friends said that her inner mime is coming out. So go ahead.
I can mime it right here, though.
Go ahead.
I was going into it for them.
Retired mime. Go ahead.
I can retire though. So I can.
So, hey.
Okay, wait. I was talking. Hold on. So.
Well, mime or talk. Do one or the other.
So listen. So, where we're at now is basically in 10 days, we are taking a trip. And so when I started the shots today, that means now I have like 10 days to get the eggs and stuff retrieved. So the shots I'm taking are like to help with follicles and stuff like that. And I'm only taking like 3 shots now, but I have to go back and forth every so often for ultrasound. So in about 2 days, I'll go back for another ultrasound, see where we're at, see if I need to increase to like 4 shots, or if we're going to stick with the 3 shots, and then go back again. And then, so that's kind of like where we're at. At the end of the day, in about 10 days, we will be on a trip down to the clinic in a different state. And then they'll be putting me night for a little bit. And they'll be taking out the eggs. And from there, we'll be getting stuff started. Like, we have a goal of when we should be pregnant.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. We have a goal, though.
Yeah. So
we have a goal.
Yeah, we'll keep you all posted on that. But so just to kind of let you all know, like with all this going on, like life is still moving forward. So I started a new job at top of June.
Yay!
And I am fortunate enough to work from home. But still do some side work like mowing and things like that, and
he's so blessed.
Resell shoes and things like that. But I'm also in graduate school for my master's degree. So, and then we still have our lovely teenagers, which are they're picking up on their busyness with our daughter. She's on the flag team at school, and she works and things like that now. And then our son, he's gearing up for basketball, and he's getting ready for school. And then Gheilescia, my poor wife, she called me blessed. She's very blessed as well. But the scripture says something like, "To whom much is given, much is required."
That almost sounds very similar though to what was told to Spider-Man.
Okay, Spider-Man is cool, but I like Jesus better.
I do like Jesus. I just wanted to throw that in there, though.
Okay, what was told to Spider-Man? Do you remember?
Not really, but it was something very close to that.
Okay, so while she contemplates Spider-Man, Gheilescia she's working full time. She is a wife, and when I tell you she's a good one, you better believe it. She is a wife, and that me being her husband it means it's full time plus some OT with benefits though. It comes with benefits, things like that. But anyway, so she's working full time. She's the wife and a mother, but she's also in nursing school.
Yeah, and we have finals coming up.
Yeah, so yeah,
finals coming up. And the funny part is, finals is the weekend that, I maxed out at my 10 days.
Right.
So it's just all like,
yeah.
And I'm like, oh God. Oh God.
So
how's this about to happen?
Yeah. Yeah. So, so she is as, really, I want to say neck deep, but she's like very deep.
I'm like nose deep.
Yeah.
I breathe though, because I come over like,
yeah,
and I go back under.
And that's how she peeks out the room sometimes. What y'all out there doing? Yeah, I heard giggles. Can I have laughter? I need it.
Let me laugh. I want to laugh too.
Yeah. Pray for me.
Sorry.
So yeah. So and I said all that to say she is tremendous in all that she's doing. And I appreciate her. I hope she knows that. But going through this process and all, she's proving that it is still possible with doing life. And I said all that and didn't mention the fact that we're involved with the church and things like that as well. So serving in different capacities, from the frontline team and food truck ministry. And
this is like getting long, but
yeah, and I'm wrapping up.
No, he's a preacher, so he's gonna say that like 5 times.
This is the only time I will go. Listen, hey, I'm wrapping up. Go ahead.
Oh God! Listen, And so with him saying all that, that is something I would like to kind of talk about a little bit next time, because I'm just like, you do life, and then not only that, you have church involved too, especially some of us that's involved in church a lot too. It's just like, oh gosh, it's so much, because I be feeling like, this is terrible, because like I'm doing school on the weekends, and then like we're over certain areas, and then Jonathan, he's like, he's got it, and I'm like, I'm missing. I want to be there too. You know,
So you talked about me being a preacher. You failed to mention that you was a preacher long before I was even saved.
I was, but when I say I'm wrapping up, I know how to wrap up. That comes from experience.
I didn't even have the opportunity to. But in closing,
that's number 2. Because he did say, you said earlier you was wrapping up.
But you interrupted my wrap up.
But you said you was wrapping up.
Right, but you interrupted my wrap up. Okay, but now
you said in closing, you're at 2.
I have to transition back in.
Now he's saying transition back in, which means he's going to have to transition back out.
Anyway.
We're about to hit closing number 3.
Right.
Watch.
So, like I was saying. I forgot what I was saying. But, and that's what I was going to say. So, I was saying all that to let her know that she's appreciated, and you all are appreciated as well. And, you know, we posted the picture that, and said that, you know, this is the beginning of the journey. So we want to make sure that we bring you all along for a portion of the journey, or, you know, along with us on the journey. So periodically we will be posting videos and pictures and things like that. So sometimes it'll be live, sometimes it'll just be a recorded video. So the next video that you'll get is a recorded video after one of our appointments, so that you can kind of hear how that appointment went. So we appreciate you guys, and we appreciate your prayers, and we love you all.
Love you so much. And if you have any questions, definitely just, you know, post your question below, or, you know, inbox me or him. Doesn't matter. We'll try to answer however we can.
If you see me just disappear off of Facebook, I've deactivated my Facebook again. I still do have Messenger, but yeah,
because he comes and goes.
Yeah, I don't really engage much with Facebook anymore, other than Messenger.
Okay, so there's that. So inbox me if you can't find him. That works. All right, guys. We love you guys, and we hope you guys are doing well, and we will be getting back at you guys really soon. All right? Bye. Let's figure out how to turn it off.
Just finish, babe. Right there in the bottom right-hand corner.
Finish.
You need your glasses.
Shut up.